fall play, The Imaginary Invalid. Tonight we'll be giving a peek into Monsieur Argon's life, a hypochondriac who's determined to marry his daughter off to a doctor to pay his medical bills. This is actually the first time that Talmadge High School is doing a classical comedy, and we're all very excited for you guys to see the show. Before starting, please silence all cell phones and other electronic devices, and please, no flash photography during the show. Thank you so much, and enjoy.
A statement of accounts due from Monsieur Argon to Monsieur Florent, the apothecary. Monsieur Florent, apothecary. Monsieur Florent, Monsieur Florent, Monsieur Florent, Monsieur Florent. Bills! 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 They're like leaves in autumn, and they're just as difficult to get rid of. They're like falling leaves. You clear them up, and then you turn your back, and there they are again. I don't know which is worse, adding them up or paying them. But if I don't go through them myself, then I get cheated. A bit added on here, another there. It's shameless. I don't know what the world's coming to. There's no honesty left. Oh well. Here we go. It's 2 and 2 make 4, yes. Plus 5 makes 9. All right so far. And 8 and 7 make 13. No, wait. It's 15. Oh well, a mistake on the right side. Let's call it 11. Oh, here's a much larger one. For Monsieur Argon, a special mixture, smooth and insinuating to encourage, sweeten, and humor the digestive process. Oh, that's very well put. Such delicacy. That's the thing I like about my apothecary. His bills, they're so well worded, so discreet. To encourage, sweeten, and humor, that's beautiful. Upon my word, it's almost poetic. What's this? 40 francs? Oh, no, Master Apothecary, that won't do. That won't do at all. You can put it into verse for all I care, but that's no reason for overcharging like this. It may encourage my digestive process, but it enrages me. And besides, it wasn't half as encouraging or humorous as you thought. Not half. So we'll have it. 20 francs. And that is generous. Oh, here's another. A julep, soporific, narcotic, and somniferous. What was that for? To induce deep sleep. I wonder wonder whether it did. Oh, wait, what's this? Why did I take this? It's 5 ounces of cascara and 2 pints of cenopods in a syrup of fresh figs. Oh, yes, now I remember, of course. And I never slept a wink. They cancel out. I'll pay nothing for that little lot, Master Apothecary. Ah. So 15 francs, 17, 26, 42? No, Master Apothecary, this is beyond a joke. If you carry on like this, then who can afford to be ill? And where would you be then? That's what I'd like to know. You'd be out of business, and you deserve to be. On the 24th, a mixture for my blood. And on the 25th, for my heart. And on the 26th, for my kidneys. And 27th, for the wind. On the 30th, for my nerves. Well, that's ridiculous. What's wrong with my nerves, I'd like to know? This month, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different medicines and 12 treatments. And last month, I had 12 different medicines and 15 treatments. Well, no wonder I'm not so well now as I have been. I must see the doctor about this. I better have him sent for at once. Damn silly little bell. Doesn't make a sound. Well, they only did it to me so they can't hear it. Not that they'd come if they did. I might be dying for all they know. I'd rather believe that I am. I could easily die of rage. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Come quick! I'm dying!
Dying?
When I get my hands on you, I'll give you what for.
What for?
Quit talking like an echo and come here. Do you hear me?
No.
Come here! Come here, come here, come here! Drop whatever you're doing and come here!
Now look what you've made me do!
What?
What? I've fallen downstairs!
What of it?
With your wife's breakfast tray, I've broken her cup, I've broken her saucer, and I've broken all the plates.
You're a clumsy slut. Come here.
I can't!
Why not?
Because I've broken my ankle!
Broken your ankle? How can you look after me with a broken ankle?
I can't!
Oh, you wicked girl! But if I can't reach you with my stick, then I can give you the rough edge of my tongue. Now you listen. Stop it! Stop it! I can hardly hear myself speak. How can I scold you if you make such a rouse?
scold me when I have killed myself obeying you.
Obey me? Did I tell you to break your ankle? Now you listen. Will you stop it? Stop it! I think you've given me laryngitis.
Well, then
Quits.
you've got laryngitis. I've broken my ankle. You want to scold. You're scolding. I want to cry. I'm crying. And if that isn't fair, what is?
Don't argue, it makes my head ache. You clear these things away. I thought you'd broken your ankle.
Well, I've mended it.
But you couldn't.
Oh, yes, I could. It's cured. Like your laryngitis. What a mess. What is all this?
Mind your business. Don't touch them.
How can I clear them up without touching them?
Put the whole table over there. As it is. I'll go on with them tomorrow.
Ooh, from your apothecary. All of them bills. He's a nice one, and doing himself quite proud over you. And that doctor of yours, a pretty pair. Oh, and you two, the three of you. The things you get up to with that inside of yours.
You leave my inside alone.
I wish you would. You'd be a different man.
Don't show your ignorance, girl. Well, my apothecary? He's the best in Paris. And my doctor, a man of the greatest skill and learning. What he doesn't know about illnesses...
Oh, yes, I agree with you there. He can sniff them out where nobody else would think of them.
That's true. That's very, very true.
Why, if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't know you were ill.
That's true. What are you talking about? Of course I should be ill, but I should know what of. When I wanted to speak of my illnesses, I shouldn't know what to call them.
Oh, your illnesses. They're all your little darlings, aren't they? With their own little pet names. And when they're thirsty, you give them drinks.
May you be forgiven with all that I have to suffer. I think that this lack of sympathy is the hardest to bear. Where's my daughter?
I don't know. How should I know?
Go and find her and send her to me. I want to speak with her.
She was just coming. A loving daughter always knows when her father wants her. You don't deserve such a daughter.
Oh, there you are. Yes, come in, come in. I've got something to tell you.
Yes, Father?
I will have a seat.
Yes, Father.
What is it you want to see me about?
All in good time, all in good time. Don't hurry me. Are you comfortable?
Yes, thank you, yes.
That's good. I'm not. You'll have to excuse me. I'll be back in 1 moment.
A moment. He's an optimist. Antoinette? Yes, Miss Angelica? Oh, Toinette, Toinette. I heard, and what do you want with me?
Toinette.
Yes.
Oh, dear Toinette.
So now I'm dear.
Turn around and look at me.
I'm looking. Can't you guess? Guess what?
Why, what I want to say and talk about?
Well, considering we've been talking about nothing else for the past week, I've got a fair idea.
Well, why don't you begin?
Begin? Me begin? How can I begin when you never stop? Oh, Toinette, he's so handsome, so wonderful to look at.
Isn't he?
Yes, yes he is.
And his manners, such perfect manners. Oh, but they're exquisite, aren't they?
Yes, yes they are.
And his bearing, the way he holds himself with such a manly grace. Don't you agree?
Yes, yes I do.
He's every inch a splendid gentleman. Toinette,
Yes,
what do you say?
yes.
Yes, what?
Every inch.
Noble. He's noble. That's the only word. You can't deny it, can you?
No, I cannot.
And passionate. Oh, if only you knew.
Well then go on, tell me.
And with it all, so gentle, so self-controlled.
In fact, nothing to tell.
And don't you think our meeting was ordained?
Ordained?
No, preordained, arranged in heaven sometime just after the creation, set down indelibly in the divine diary. On such and such a day in 1674, Angelica meets Clayot. What do you think?
I suppose it could have been.
But Toinette, the one evening out of the whole year that I go out to the theater with my aunt, that he should be there and in the next box to us and think of such a wonderful excuse to come and introduce himself.
He's got his wits about him, I'll give you that.
And isn't it maddening being kept so close and under such restraint that I can only see him here and there and every now and again?
Oh yes, mistress, I agree with you there. It must be maddening.
And dear Toinette, now tell me, do you think he loves me as he says he does?
So now you're asking.
What do you mean by that?
Well, in all matters of love, dear, men are much the same.
How can they be?
Well, they are. As the philosophers say, appearance and reality are hard to tell apart.
Oh, yes, but
Take this from me. In the playing of love scenes, there are more good actors off the stage than on.
oh no, Toinette, oh no. If you look close, if you look very close, you can tell the difference.
Oh, you pretty innocents. The more you look, the more your eyes are dazzled.
Then how can you tell?
Well, you can't until it's too late. It doesn't matter anyway. I love good acting.
You're wrong, and I can prove it.
How?
I've had a letter from him.
Is he more convincing with his pen than with his tongue?
No, but he told me in his letter he was going to ask my father for his consent so we can get married.
My dear mistress, this is amazing. And you heard your father has something important to talk to you about.
Of course I've heard. Can it be that?
Well, what else?
Oh, Toinette, darling, dear Toinette, how does one live through minutes when one's whole life hangs in a balance? If Clayton has asked him,
But of course he has.
what will my father say? Another moment of this suspense and I shall die.
You won't have long to wait. I think I hear him coming. Now, let's be nice to him.
Yes, very, very nice. Darling father!
My dear master!
Hey, what's all this about?
Well, how are you feeling now?
Weak. Very weak. From what's left of me.
Let me help you.
Lean on me and me.
Not so fast. What's all this hurry?
Here, come and sit down. Careful.
There. Now, let's make you comfortable. Put this over you. That for your arm. This for the other. Another for your head. This for your feet.
must have a rest. I think that I'll take a nap.
A nap?
Yes, a nap.
We've overdone it! I shall go mad.
Well, I can't have the two of you chattering off here. Be off, the two of you.
But, Father, you're not going to sleep.
Well, that's the idea.
But you can't.
Can't I? When you clear out, I'll certainly have a damn good try.
But you mustn't.
Mustn't? Why not?
The doctor said so.
The doctor?
Well, he said you mustn't sleep in the daytime, and especially not when you wanted to.
Well, why ever not?
Well, it's very dangerous.
It's dangerous.
You might never wake up.
I'll never wake up.
No, here, don't. Relax. Try and sit up a bit.
Father, you had something to say to me?
Something to say to you?
Yes, something important.
I don't remember.
Oh, God help us all.
But you sent for me.
I sent for you.
Yes.
I sent for you. Oh, yes, of course. Yes, now I remember. You had me convinced my memory was going. What a fright that you gave me. Yes.
Well?
Yes, I've news for you.
News.
Yes. You have been asked in marriage.
No! I don't believe it. You're making it up.
I'm not making it up.
As to marriage.
You laugh? So, you like the idea? It's only natural. You're growing up, after all. So, you're pleased?
Father, even if I wasn't, I'm your daughter. I should obey you.
I should hope so. I'd see to that. Still, though, I'm glad you're pleased. That makes it easier for me.
For you?
Well, your stepmother was against it. She wanted to make a nun of you.
A nun?
Send you to a convent. Both you and your little sister.
But why?
No doubt she had her reasons.
What? I put my foot down. And to stop any unpleasantness, I've arranged to have you married as quickly as possible.
Oh, Monsieur Argon, if this is the wisest, most special thing you've ever done, I'm proud of you. Now, how about a drop of medicine?
Medicine? What for?
To celebrate!
Which?
The nastiest. Well, you always say that's what does you the most good.
No, give him the nicest and a double dose. Oh, Father, I'm so grateful.
So you ought to be. Well, now that's all settled. I haven't seen the lad, but from what I've heard, when you lay eyes on him, you'll be well satisfied.
Oh, yes, I shall. I shall.
Well, you seem very certain. How can you be so sure? And now, Angelica, perhaps you'll tell me why you're so sure you'll be well satisfied?
You see, Father, it's like this. Recently, and quite by chance, we met.
You've met?
In company?
You hold your tongue. What happened?
Nothing.
Nothing?
We looked at one another.
Didn't you speak? Did neither say a word?
Only a very few.
What sorts of words?
A greeting and goodbye.
Well, I see no harm in that. I'm glad you like the look of him, though they say that he's handsome.
I've never seen a man who's half so handsome.
And clever with it.
I've never known a man who's half so clever.
Well, he seems to have made an impression. But for once, you're right. He must be clever to speak both Latin and Greek.
Latin and Greek. He never
Yes.
told me that.
You surprise me. You say that you met in company, and you say, how are you, and goodbye, and yet he never told you he spoke Latin and Greek? Well, you might have guessed.
Guess?
If he's just taken his doctor's degree, then he must know Latin and Greek.
Doctor's degree.
Yes.
A doctor!
Yes.
Father, are you sure?
Of course I'm sure.
But how do you know? Who told you?
Well, why my doctor? Dr. Perjean.
Dr. Perjean? Does Dr. Perjean know him?
Don't be so ridiculous. What a silly question. Does Dr. Perjean know him? And I know his own nephew.
Nephew? Cleant, Dr. Perjean's nephew?
Cleant? Who's Cleant? Cleant. No. I've never heard of him. No. I'm speaking of the man that you're going to marry.
And so am I.
I knew it! You're not speaking of the same young man.
Oh, yes, I am.
Well, then who? Who are you speaking of?
Why, the young Dr. Thomas Diaphoros, of course. Son of the great Dr. Diaphoros.
Oh no.
That young booby?
Ruby,
Booby!
will you be quiet?
And let you play havoc with your daughter's life? No, not me.
Not you indeed. What's it got to do with you anyway? Answer me that. No, don't. I'll not argue with you. I'll not demean myself. I'll not say another word to you. Not another word.
Oh, but you will listen.
Listen, I certainly won't.
Oh, yes, you will. You're not deaf. Not yet.
Aren't I? We'll see about that. Now you can talk your head off.
Oh, dear Monsieur Argon.
I can't hear a word you're saying. And don't call me dear.
He's impossible, the silly old idiot.
Silly old idiot.
Now, what possessed you to arrange such a senseless marriage?
Senseless? I've never done anything so sensible in all my life. And I'll tell you why. No, I won't. I'm not speaking with you. But I will tell my daughter. Daughter, if there's any sense of pity in you, any compassion at all, then you'll understand. I am a sick man. God knows I do my best to bear my ill health, but I require attention. Constant attention! And by this marriage, I shall have a doctor in the family, and his father a doctor, and his uncle. 3 doctors, and they won't want paying, or at least half price.
So you'd sacrifice your daughter?
Sacrifice? What a little mind you've got. What meanness of spirit. Are you quite incapable of taking a larger view? I'm giving her a chance to be unselfish and to behave nobly with all the rewards of that in this life and the next.
And you're not even ill.
Can I believe my ears? Me not ill? Ugh.
Oh, well, what's wrong with you?
Wrong? Everything! I'm wrong from head to foot!
Well, I don't know about your feet, but I do know about your head. There's something wrong there.
I shall have a stroke.
No, not yet. Not till we're finished. All right. You're ill.
Yes.
Very ill.
Yes.
On your last legs.
What?
You don't have much longer.
Hey!
So when you're dead and buried, what good is it going to do to have your daughter married to a doctor?
Don't listen to her. This is a good marriage. Young Thomas is an only child, and his mother's dead. When old Diaphorus dies, she'll inherit his father's fortune. And Diaphorus is the richest and most influential doctor in all of Paris. Last year, he made 20,000 francs.
Well, he must have killed an awful lot of people to have made all that.
Now see what you've done? Have you no consideration for your mistress and my daughter?
Now that we're alone, I can tell you this. You can get this silly wit right out of your head.
How dare you?
She'll never marry him.
Oh, yes, she will. She'll have to.
Have to.
Of course she will. Or else.
Else what?
I'll do as my wife has always wanted. And she'll be in a convent before she can turn around.
Oh, you wouldn't do that.
Who'd stop me?
You would. You wouldn't have the heart.
You don't know me.
Oh, yes, I do. And believe this, I don't think you're such a terrible man. You're very difficult, and you're very silly, but you're not wicked and cruel.
I am too wicked and cruel. What am I saying? You get out of my sight.
And I'll tell you one more thing. If she marries him, I'll disinherit her.
Disinherit?
Yes,
But what have you got to give?
nothing, and she won't get a penny of it.
Oh, my wife! Wife! Oh, my dear!
My love.
Sweetheart!
What is it? What's the matter?
Oh, it's her!
Who?
Toinette.
Toinette.
Yes!
What's she been doing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
She does everything that I don't want. Nothing that I do.
That's bad.
It's worse. She keeps telling me that I'm not ill.
That's ridiculous.
Of course it is. Isn't it?
Of course it is.
Thank God for you. What should I do without you? You're such a comfort. But I will tell you this. If she goes on telling me that there is nothing the matter with me, then it shall be the death of me.
I'll speak to her. Toinette! Toinette!
Madam,
Come here!
You will get rid of her.
Well, we'll see.
No, send her away at once.
But servants are so hard to come by. They're so scarce and in such high demand, they can behave exactly as they like and make their own terms.
It's a shocking state of affairs. I don't know what the world's coming to.
But we've got to live in it. Of course. I could send her away,
Yes, you must.
but then you'd have no one to look after you.
No one to look after me?
You'd have to look after yourself.
But I couldn't do that.
Well, there you are.
Madam Comte,
Now, what's all this about?
what's what about? You've upset your master. Upset the master? Me? Yes, you. Well, there's been some mistake. It was the breakfast tray.
What's she saying? I can't hear. I bet she's telling a whole lot of lies.
don't know why he should be. I do my best for him.
But what's been going on?
Speak up, girls, speak up.
He's been in one of his moods.
But what's been going on?
Well, first he told me how he intended to marry his daughter to Thomas, son of the great Dr. Diaphoros.
Yes.
And then I told him it would be better to put her in a convent.
And what did he say to that?
He didn't like it. And when I reminded him that it was what you wanted, he flew into a rage.
What is she saying?
That she's very sorry, Pettipins, and she'll never be rude to you again.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. Never! Not until the next time.
Now don't be naughty. You are an animal. Let's straighten you out of it. And look at your nightcap.
But I can't. I haven't got eyes on the top of my head.
Put it on properly. Hold it down over your forehead. Further. Further. That's better. It's the way to catch a cold in the air and through the ears. Sit up a moment. There. That's to make your back comfortable. And that's to keep you warm. And this to keep your mouth shut. What is it now?
She wants to kill me.
Kill you.
Suffocate me. Smother me to death.
You mustn't let yourself get so excited. It's very bad for you.
Yes. Oh, yes, it is.
You have the strength.
No, I haven't.
A great big baby, that's who you are. Throwing your things about. But what a darling baby.
You're so very good to me, my dear. What can I do for you?
Nothing. Just be yourself. There's nothing I want from you other than that, lover. You know it, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And you're not to worry.
No.
Not about anything.
No, I'm not.
Not about Angelica, nor Toinette, nor little Louise. And above all, my precious, you're not to worry about me.
About you? But why should I
And
worry?
especially my darling husband. I'm anxious you never worry your poor dear head again. Not ever again of what you were speaking of last night.
What were we speaking of last night?
There, you forgot already. Thank heavens for that.
No, you must tell me. You see, my memory is going. So, you must tell me. You must.
Please don't ask me. I can't even bear the thought of it.
Well, that makes it worse. It must have been important.
It wasn't, at least, not to me.
But was it to me?
You seem to think so.
You know that you can die of losing your memory. I once knew a man who went out of his mind and went to his death screaming like a lunatic. And it began like this, forgetting things. So I must remember. I must remember. I must. I've forgotten what it is that I'm trying to remember.
It was only something you said to me last night.
But what?
You said there was something you could do for me.
Yes, go on.
I'd rather not.
Go on.
You said... But never mind.
What did I say?
You said you wanted to make a new will and leave everything to me.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, now I remember, yes. And I told you, my dear, that you must find a clever lawyer. Do you remember?
Yes.
And, my dear, you must. And soon.
I have.
You have? But what did he say?
I brought him back with me.
You brought him back?
He's here.
Here where?
Just outside the door.
Well, go and bring him in.
Monsieur Butterfly.
Madam,
Please come in.
Come in. Very glad to see you. It was so good of you to come. Have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. My wife tells me that you're a very clever lawyer. Good gracious me,
Dear lady, I appreciate your feelings, and so, without doubt, does your good man. But you must be brave. You must be unselfish. We're doing this for him to put his mind at rest. An uneasy mind is the worst possible thing for an invalid.
Yes, it is.
This is a painful subject. Even a lawyer has a heart and realizes that. But for that very reason, I suggest the sooner we get this matter settled, the better of us all.
Yes, please, settle between you as quickly as possible.
Now, monsieur, this morning your wife called to me and told me very diffidently, if I may say so, but at the same time, if I may hazard a guess, interpreting your wishes very faithfully, that you desire to make a final will, leaving everything to her?
Yes, that is correct.
That raises a problem. You have, I understand, 2 daughters living by a former marriage.
Yes, I have.
Now, unless in some way they were to have renounced their rights, it isn't possible to make a will leaving everything to your good lady.
Is it possible? Why not?
It's against the law!
I don't believe it! I want another opinion.
Oh, no. Not another opinion. Things would only drag on. If you can't leave me anything, what does it matter? I don't want your money when I've got you. And when you go, I don't care what happens to me.
Oh, this is terrible.
If I may say so, monsieur, I find your wife unquestionably right. Another opinion would inevitably mean you wouldn't be able to leave your money to your wife as you desire.
Well, that's ridiculous.
My love, never mind. What does it matter?
On the other hand, I'm here to help you, not to obstruct.
Go on.
In our profession, monsieur, there's a certain few whose respect for the law is quite immeasurable. Men of honor and integrity.
Of whom Monsieur Bonnefoy is one.
I thank you. For us, the law is sacred, inviolable, not to be touched, but it can be eluded.
Eluded?
Let me enlarge. When we are confronted with the law's great enemies, there, rising in front of us and across the very path that we and some distinguished client may wish to travel, do we butt our heads against it? By no means. First, we bow to show our respect. Then we find our way around, over, and under it.
Right as usual, sweetheart. A great lawyer.
Now to my point. Since you are unable to leave your money to your wife upon your decease, well, what of it? You give it to her now.
Now?
A deed of gift.
A deed of gift. This one's thinking over.
There is. I put it to you. Nothing that one's thinking over. Nothing at all. You can proceed if you prefer so, step by step. You can give your wife now a trifling sum, or a considerable sum, or everything.
Oh, no. I'd rather follow you into the next world to care for you there as I've done in this.
Oh, did you ever hear of anything like it?
Never.
Isn't it quite extraordinary the way she loves me?
Oh, she's quite extraordinary, all right.
I find it so deeply touching. Such utter devotion.
Dear husband!
Dear wife!
Dear people, these tears are unreasonable. Such grief is premature. Please, consider this. If the bare thought of death would be a cause for weeping. Humanity would cry from dawn to night, and every single waking moment would be bathed in tears. No, we must keep dry eyes and clear heads and make proper provision for the future. Mourn when the time arrives, and not before, and not too long after.
This fellow's common sense should shame us. Proper provision, yes, yes. Let me think. In my bedroom, under my bed, in a locked box, 20,000 francs.
Oh, no, I beg you keep it. I'll not take it from you. How much did you say?
20,000. And in my wardrobe, 2 checks, payable to bearer.
I couldn't bear to touch them. How much are they worth?
One's for 4,000 francs, and the other's for 6. Come, I'll show you where they are. Bring your documents. I'll sign your deed of gift.
Congratulations.
I'm in your debt.
We can arrange that later.
Hey, where have the 2 of you gone off to? Come help me with the wardrobe door.
Yes, it's the lawyer. They're up to no good. Oh, Toinette, what am I to do? There you have me. But it's no good pretending it's going to be easy for you. They're both against you. Your father's obstinate, and your stepmother's much worse. She's clever.
And so are you.
Clever enough to see we're in a hole.
I have an idea.
What?
We must let Clay out now.
I have.
What should I do without you?
It's that stepmother of yours we've got to watch. I think I'll change my tactics. She's always trying to get me on her side. I'll pretend I am. She may tell me things. It's that shady lawyer doing the talking, but I can't hear a word. Ugh. These keyholes are useless. I don't know why we have them. I can't hear a thing. Miss Angelica, what are we to do? I can't go in unless they call me.
Why shouldn't I?
Yes. You go in. Go in and kiss your father, smile at him, shake hands with the lawyer, smile at your stepmother. Yes. Go in and come back and tell me everything they're doing. I'll stay here. What are you doing there? What? Trying to get the place clean. These floors are filthy. People will walk on them. Were you listening at the door? Listening? Madam, what do you take me for? Why should I listen to the master explaining all his complaints? From top to bottom, inside and out. Why, I spend most of my life trying not to listen. Excuse me.
message.
Oh, what are we to do? If they find you, she's ruined. She'll be in a convent before she knows it. Where will you be then?
In a monastery.
This is folly.
Listen.
Listen? Me listen? How can I listen? No, get out!
But I am not Cléante.
Not Monsieur Cléant?
No.
Oh, you have gone mad!
Yes, for I am not myself, and I do not love Angelica.
Not love her! But what are you saying? Oh, my poor mistress!
I do not love her because I've never even seen her.
Never seen her? You're raving mad!
I am her music master.
Her music master?
Actually, her assistant music master.
Do you know him?
No, but if I had known him, he would have asked me.
You're a cool one. Oh, someone's coming. It's Monsieur Argon. Go, keep yourself hidden while I explain to him who you are. Pray God it works. Monsieur?
My doctor told me to take 12 paces a day, 3 times a day, up and down the room. But I forgot to ask him which way. The length or breadth of it. That was silly of me, but I'll ask him today. Meanwhile, I'll take 6 steps across this way and 6 steps across that. Voice like that, you could have given me a heart attack. You ought to know better. Never shout in a sick room. Keep your voice down. And now I've lost count. I better start over.
But Monsieur!
What?
Monsieur?
What is it? Speak up, girl. I can't hear a word you're saying. What is it? What? Speak up! What?
Something to tell you!
I'm busy.
But Monsieur, it's important.
Hold your tongue. What is that?
Monsieur Argon, let me present myself. But first, let me tell you what a joy it is, an overwhelming privilege to meet you. And I declare looking the picture of health.
Young sir, are you out of your senses? Or are you blind? My master is ill, and looks it. And when a man is poorly, very poorly, it is of little help to be told that you're well. Mind you, he eats and sleeps and gets about just like the rest of us, but that does not mean he is not very ill. If you have any respect for age and suffering, look closer.
Oh, my dear good Monsieur Argon, I ask your pardon. Indeed, I have been blind. All my perceptions dulled by the occasion. But now looking closer, oh yes, I can see the cruel ravages of long ill health. But I see more than that. Oh yes, so much more. I see all the courage and the patience and the endurance with which you bear it. Oh, what an example to us all.
This fellow knows what he's talking about. Who is he? What's his name?
My name is of no matter, but my errands cannot wait. Just only an hour ago, I received the most urgent message.
Message from who?
From your daughter's music master.
Music master?
He has himself been called to Italy to perform some concerts there.
Indeed.
And as I am his partner and his closest friend, he asked me to take his place. I may say it has not been easy. I've had to disappoint some very distinguished pupils of my own. And to put aside an operetta I am working at.
Well, I must say.
But he insisted. She was not only his favorite pupil, but his most apt. And her lessons, he impressed upon me, must not be interrupted for a day, not even an hour.
Why? And this is the hour for her music lesson.
That is so. And he spoke of her so enthusiastically in such glowing terms that I myself can't wait to see her.
Oh, go and fetch her.
Hadn't I better bring her to his room?
Well, certainly not.
Well, how can he teach her anything with you looking on?
Of course he can.
It might be too exciting for you. You need your rest.
That's nonsense. It'll do me good. Besides, I'm very fond of music. Be off and fetch her.
Hide yourself while I prepare her for the shock of seeing you. Merciful heaven, it's too late. Hide yourself.
Daughter, there's a young man.
A young man, can you see me?
From your music master, I gather that it's the hour for your music lesson.
Music lesson?
And now the young man hears the young lady that you so much like to meet. What are you doing there? Are these the manners of a music master? You come here, come and present yourself.
You? Mistress!
What is this? What's happening? What's going on? Have you all lost your tongues? Will somebody please explain?
I can't believe my eyes. This is the strangest thing that has ever happened to me.
Strange?
That gentleman.
Your music master? What's strange about him?
Last night I had a dream. I dreamed I was being taken to some kind of prison. It was a life sentence I was being taken to. And suddenly, someone so very much like this gentleman appeared and rescued me. So vivid was the dream that I woke up thinking of him. I've been thinking of him ever since. Indeed, I was thinking of him as I came into the room.
Young men in her dreams. I don't call it decent.
And I am happier than I can say, monsieur, to have been in your daughter's thoughts, sleeping or waking. And she can be assured, should the occasion arise, I would come to her rescue, as in her dreams.
That must be Dr. Diaphoros and his son Thomas. I'm expecting. Go and fetch him. And if it's anybody else, send them away. I'm arranging for my daughter to be married to the son of the great Dr. Diaphoros. He's bringing the lad here for the very first time.
Then I'm most fortunate to be present.
They're to be married at once.
Is that so? Then I'm even more thankful to be here.
Will her music master be back in Paris in time for the wedding?
You know what? Very unlikely.
Well then, you might want to come. We may want some music.
I thank you. Since I set eyes on her, to be present at her wedding was something I'd set my heart on.
Well,
It's them.
well, where are they?
Outside in the passage.
In the passage, what are they doing?
Oh, how should I know? What do doctors do? They're practicing.
Practicing what?
I don't know. Some kind of play acting.
Play acting?
That's what it sounded like. The young one spouting his head off and the old one listening with both his ears. Oh, that Dr. Diaphoros. And his son, why, there's not a man in the whole of Paris who, unlike them.
Oh, Miss Angelica, when you set your eyes on them, your mind will be made up. But what a husband is in store for you.
I'm glad that you realize it. Oh, here they are. Oh,
Miss
Dr.
Angelica,
Diaphanous,
there
so
you
happy
are.
to see you.
My dear
great
Miss
and friendly doctor. Oh,
Well,
it's such a pleasure to have you here. I want to tell you.
I ask your pardon.
Not at all, don't mention it.
As I was saying, I desire to let you know
Oh, yes, and I wanted to tell you that,
that the two of us, my son and I,
yes, the two of us, my daughter and myself,
come here in great delight.
and with what joy we welcome you.
Yes.
Yes.
My son and I wish to assure you that we do realize the great honor that you have conferred upon us alliance and in all matters pertaining to our professional men. We are the two of us always and entirely at your
auspicious entrance into the very bosom of our family circle.
My turn now.
Yes.
The old boy first.
Yes.
Father, my new father, for that is the title I shall know you from henceforth. But how much more you are to me than my real father. He begot me. I am the fruit of his body, but you chose me. I am the offspring of your mind. And as the mind is much greater than the body, so of my two fathers you must and shall always take first place. All right?
Very good. You haven't finished yet.
I know that, don't hurry me. One word, now. Shall I do the next?
Yes.
Do I kiss her to start with?
Yes.
Oh dear. Mother, my new mother.
That's not my wife you're speaking to.
Oh, where is she?
Where's who?
Your old woman.
She'll be here in a moment.
Oh. Shall I wait for her?
No, say your piece to your betrothed.
Yes. Who?
Your wife to be.
Yes. How does it begin?
Memnon.
Huh?
Even as the statue of Memnon.
Oh, yes! Dear gracious lady, even as the statue of Memnon is said to emit beautiful sounds when warmed by the rays of the sun, so I, when kindled by the burning splendor of your loveliness, am constrained to give vent to your praises.
Charming. You're charming.
And as the exquisite flower, known as the heliotrope, as the naturalist informs us, always turns its face towards the sun. So from this very moment on, my entire being will always be directed towards those two twins of loveliness. Your eyes.
Well, it only shows
Shows what?
what education does for a man.
Yes, indeed.
Why, you agree.
My dear Commissaire, if his prescriptions are anything like his speeches, no illness stands a chance.
There, Doctor, you heard. We all congratulate you, especially my daughter and myself. Such a husband, and such a son-in-law.
My dear and honored friend, I thank you. And if you would allow me to say so, it is not merely because I am his father that I would have good reason to be well pleased and proud of him. Anyone who has had anything to do with him realizes that he is a young man in whom there is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all in which one can find fault. You will no doubt find it difficult to believe, but he was never what you might call a bright child. He never mixed with the other children. He never played their childish games. He never seemed to understand them. They were beneath him. You will no doubt find it difficult to believe, but we had the greatest difficulty teaching him how to read. And when he could, he wouldn't.
Well, you don't say so. Well, you must have been anxious.
Oh, on the contrary, I was overjoyed.
Overjoyed?
It's very simple. To fashion a figure from clay is a matter of moments, but to carve it from wood or to hew it from stone takes time.
Ah, yes, it takes time.
But which lasts longer?
Ah, which indeed.
Or is of the greater worth? A tree that takes its time in growing bears the finest fruit.
How true. That's very, very true.
When I realized he was slow of imagination, ponderous in his thinking, I knew when he made up his mind, there was nothing that can constrain him. In college, he overcame all opposition by ignoring it. Especially in medicine, the wisdom of the past is like a mighty rock. My son has become part of it, a limit on the surface. He cannot be budged. Indeed, he does not so much stand aloof from his fellows as tower above them.
Well, and no doubt, with your immense influence, you'll perhaps be able to get him a job with the finest ones of the land under his care.
In my profession, to attend to the greatest is not always the most satisfactory way of exercising our profession. To practice in less exalted circles is far more rewarding.
Well, you surprise me. How so?
It's quite simple. When the greats of the world fall ill and send for us, they expect to be cured. Thomas!
What?
You've forgotten something.
What?
The corpse.
Oh, Jimmy, yes! I've got a surprise for you. Tomorrow afternoon, you're to come with me to the hospital and watch me dissect a body.
A body? A dead body?
It's quite dead, but fresh.
That reminds me. Music master, I have guests to entertain. I want my daughter to sing to them. You see to it.
At your service, monsieur. I have come prepared.
Prepared for what?
For you to sing.
But I can't sing.
Oh, now, my dear pupil, no modesty for me, and I should know you have the most beautiful voice I've ever heard. and to its use, you're learning, and very quickly. And as an obedient daughter, if I may make so bold, it behooves you to show your father, his guests, and to our teacher how you are learning.
But what am I to sing?
I have it here. No need for dividends. It's a duet. And as it is well known, those that teach singing can never sing themselves.
From what you tell us, this isn't going to be good.
That'll be for you, monsieur, to judge. This, monsieur, is a most unusual composition that you're about to hear. It is written specifically for beginners and teachers who cannot sing. It is, as it were, a kind of improvisation and can be sung or intoned in a kind of recitative, a very valuable accomplishment. So the duettists speak, sing, or intone to each other as the spirit moves through them.
Well, that sounds a bit of a jumble. Go ahead.
Here's your part.
This, but there's nothing.
Nothing that you can't manage. And now, let me set the scene. You must imagine then that I'm a shepherd.
An old shepherd, eh?
A young one.
About your own age.
Exactly my own age. And your daughter, monsieur, you must imagine is a shepherdess. And now it so happened that the shepherd went to the performance of a mask. And the shepherdess, you must realize, monsieur, that such things happen in plays seldom to real life, as it were. And I may add, she was under the protection of an older woman.
Her aunt?
Extraordinary, perhaps. You know the story.
Oh, just this little bit. I don't know the next part or how it ends.
Well, it was indeed her aunt.
And didn't the shepherd know the aunt?
Now, it so happened that the shepherd did know the aunt. Poetic license is what we call it, necessary for the plot. And thus the shepherd and the shepherdess came face to face. And he saw not a shepherdess, but a young goddess. For the master no longer held the slightest interest for him, for the end of it meant the departing from his beloved. And when he returned home, the only thought in him was how he could see his loved one once again.
What happened to his sheep?
The shepherd and the shepherdess, whom the poet writes of, have no sheep.
But why are they called shepherds?
What else would you call them?
Monsieur Argon, you shouldn't interrupt. The poor shepherd, what happened?
She was so well guarded, he could do nothing. The fates dealt with him a dreadful blow. But there was a friend of hers.
A shepherdess too?
No, something of a country bumpkin. But with a heart of gold and her wits about her.
Yeah.
And she sent him a message that his goddess was to be married to another.
Oh, and that cooked his goose.
By no means, for by that time she was as necessary to him as the air he breathed. He was in love. He was in despair, and those two things together can breed a reckless courage. Putting aside his shepherd's garments, so he was, as it were, disguised. He went to the girl's home.
Oh, did he? Oh, that young dog. I'd have given him what for?
I'm sure you would. But you must realize he was desperate, and he had to find out if the shepherdess loved him as he loved her, and what was best to do. It is at this point that the composition, the improvisation begins, for the feelings are far too deep to be expressed other than in music. And he expresses his feelings, thoughts, hopes, and fears as she answers. Beautiful shepherdess, I adore you. Never shepherd was so true. Do you love me? If you love me less than I love you.
Faithful shepherd, without deceiving, though your vows of love believing. No, I do not. Love you twice as you love me.
Do I believe my ears? What do I learn? My love you do not return. You do not love me. Love me more than I love you.
No, no, dear shepherd, why so blind? Surely my meaning you can find. Be sure I love not less. I love you more than you love me.
You love me more.
I love you more.
Oh, sing it again, oh, let me hear.
I love you, shepherd dear. The world is bright, the day is fair. When you are there, tra-la, tra-la. When you are there, tra-la, tra-la.
This joy is more than I can bear. I walk on air, tra-la, tra-la. I walk on air, tra-la, tra-la. We walk on air, tra-la, 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 tra-la.
I didn't know my daughter was so advanced. Playing and singing at sight? Oh, that's remarkable.
But as I told you, monsieur, she's the most apt of all my pupils. And as the plot unfolds, and as they love each other, but she is betrothed to another.
That's very awkward for me.
As you so wisely say, good monsieur, very awkward. But as as you will understand, the shepherd knows what she wants to intend to do, and we shall hear. Dearest shepherdess, soon need as may, though we love beyond all measure, if a father shows displeasure, does a daughter disobey?
I will answer.
You will answer!
I will answer, hear me pray. Cupid, God, love, when the helping heart is lovers in love, I must obey you, please.
Ah, she wants to be. She
I
must
obey.
She is a hussy, that's what she is. If she were my daughter, I'd have something to say to her.
I have no doubt you would. But as we come to the final motif, as the plot thickens, as they say, we are to know what they intend to do.
Well, yes, but that doesn't interest me in the least. I don't want to hear it.
But, monsieur, that's the most important, indeed, the main theme of the whole composition.
Well, that may be, but I can do without it. A good day.
But, monsieur, I heard you were fond of music.
So I am. But I only like music that I've heard before.
But, monsieur, one has to hear music for the first time.
Why?
Why? But, monsieur!
Good day! Well, I must say, for a musician, you seem very deaf. Good day. You said you had many other students. Perhaps you'd better get on to one of them.
But, monsieur, I've put them off.
So then go and get on with that operetta of yours.
Ah, monsieur, one has to wait for inspiration.
Then go and wait somewhere else. Good day. Where are you going?
To see him out.
Well, he can see himself out. Where are your manners? I have guests. Oh, my wife! For your own sake, I wish you'd been here sooner. You would have heard young Thomas say some very beautiful and eloquent things to Angelica and to myself.
Yes, and for a wedding present, he's letting her watch him dissect a corpse.
A corpse.
You be quiet. But you are in time to hear Angelica accept this offer of marriage.
But father,
Corpse and all.
Well, what are you... But father? Don't but father me. You've got nothing to say to me. But young Thomas, and he's waiting.
That's right, I'm waiting.
I beg you not to hurry this. Give us some time to get to know each other so that our mutual inclinations...
I have mutual inclinations. I don't want to wait.
Good sir. It's not easy to overcome the habits of modesty that my dear father has impressed on me since I was a child. In matters of the heart, a girl doesn't respond so readily as does a man.
Bosh! There will be plenty of time for mutual inclinations and matters of the heart after you're married.
If I may interpose.
Oh, of course.
As my son loves your daughter, there is no need to wait.
Good Dr. Diaphragm, you are a man of learning and understanding. If your son loves me as you say he does, and as consideration for the loved one is a great part of love, he would not wish to force me where I have no wish to go.
Nego consequentum, mademoiselle, nego consequentum. If we view this matter scientifically and mathematically, as indeed we must, there is only so much love that can be felt between two people, and my son has enough for both. Quod est demonstrandum.
There's no matter arguing, mistress. When they're speaking Latin, there's no stopping them.
There'll be no arguing, Angelica. Your refusal to obey your father makes me even more certain than I was before. A convent's the place for you.
No doubt you have your reasons for that, madam.
Reasons?
Yes. I don't know what they are, and neither does your husband.
Out of my sight! Out of this room!
Gladly. And I'll have you know, if she takes the veil, I take it too. And as you know, I can't behave. Both of us shall be turned out before you can turn around.
Good riddance.
Where are you going? After Toinette, stuck here.
I'm sorry that you should be present, Doctor, at these family bickerings, but I assure you, they mean nothing.
That's as it may be, but this meeting has not turned out as I expected it. We'll take our leave.
No. You can't. Not until you've told me how I am.
Thomas. The otherist? Well, what of the patient's pulse?
He hasn't got one.
Well, it is durus.
Yes.
Not to say durisculus.
Ridiculous.
Denoting a distemper in the perishing.
That's right, a distemper in the... what you said.
Or, more positively, the spleen.
Spleen.
Dr. Perjean says it's my liver.
Doubtless that's infected as well. He orders, of course, nothing but roasted meat.
Boiled. Only boiled.
Quite right. In your condition, it couldn't matter less. Dr. Perjean knows his business, and you're in good hands. If this marriage upon which my son has set his heart is to be consummated as was arranged, inform me at my house before tonight. Come, Hans.
But Angelica is my daughter. I'm quite resolved. Master lawyer, can you now and here at once draw up a marriage contract?
Indeed I can.
And will you then take it yourself to Dr. Diaphanous within the hour?
Most certainly.
Then you will do so. And you, Angelica, you don't get to leave the house until after the marriage ceremony.
To be God, love is good. Ways of heaven, love, she wants to make it. Happiness, love, she wants to make it.
And there's that damn fellow singing at the house again! Normal? That's ridiculous. This thing's not to be trusted. Nothing's to be trusted nowadays. Nothing. And nobody. Shameless. How's my pulse? Thump, 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 thump. And my poor heart. Well, the way that it beats, there must be something wrong with it. Well, that's very queer. I can't find this. Oh, but this is the pulse that young Thomas couldn't find, and, well, he knows his business. Oh my gosh, this can't be good for me. Well, this pulse galloping like a racehorse, and on this side there's nothing. I'm all lopsided.
Husband, there's something going on here in this house. It's very wrong.
Well, there's no need to tell me that.
It's something more than wrong.
Oh, I feel very much that you just might be right.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous? Oh, good God. Oh, send for the doctor. Oh.
Husband, will you please just listen to this?
You listen to my pulse! Thump, 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 thump.
Just now, walking along the passage, I passed by your daughter's door.
Which one? Which door? Which daughter, Angelica or little Louise?
Angelica, of course. I stood there thunderstruck. What do you think I heard?
How should I know?
Voices.
Voices?
Voices.
You stood outside Angelica's door and you heard voices?
That's what I'm telling you.
But what's the matter with that? What did you expect to hear?
Certainly not a man's voice.
Merciful heaven, what was he saying?
I couldn't hear it. So I opened the door and went in. And what do you think I saw?
I wish you'd tell me, dear one, instead of asking me these questions.
There, kneeling before your daughter, and her hands in his. She was kissing him. It was a young man.
Kissing her hands? Disgusting! Who was he?
I don't know.
Well, didn't you ask?
He gave me no chance. I stood there in the open door. Angelica saw me and gave a cry, and she snatched her hands from his.
I'm not surprised.
The young man leapt from his knees. He pushed past me at the door, ran along the passage, bounded into the stairs, and has just left the house.
What did Angelica say?
I didn't wait to ask. She's your daughter. You must deal with her.
But this couldn't have come at a worse time for me. I've only got one pulse functioning.
Pulse or no pulse, my dear. You must do your duty.
My duty?
Of course.
When you put it like that, go and fetch her.
She'd only lie to you. I have a better plan. Your youngest daughter.
Little Louise? But what's she got to do with this?
There, sitting in the corner, as quiet and as demure as if she were in church, was little Louise.
Was she indeed? Oh, that's splendid!
Are you out of your mind?
Oh, surprisingly. With all I have to bear, I'm not.
Husband, I don't understand you.
You will in a moment. First, tell me about this plan of yours.
Well, whatever Angelica's up to, and she's up to something, Louise knows of it. Angelica's not afraid of you, and Louise is. You're more likely to get the truth from her.
You're always right, my dear. But this time, you're more right than you know. So, I'll tell you something. I'm not such an old fool as I may look.
Oh, darling, I'm sure you're not. You couldn't be.
Bless you for that. I had a feeling that Angelica might try to run away, or be up to some mischief, as you say she is. So, I told Louise to keep an eye on her.
You did.
I did, to watch and listen. So, you see, when she was sitting there in the corner, as you say, as demure as if she were in church, she was doing exactly what I asked. She was watching and listening to come and report to me.
If that's so much the better. But if she's deceiving you.
Louise deceiving me? I'll get the truth out of her, never fear. That's ridiculous. Well, if need be, I'll terrify it out of her. Even though she's my own flesh and blood, I'll stop at nothing to make her tell me the truth. She'll ruin the day that she was born. So be off and fetch her.
I'll send her to you.
Oh dear. Oh dear, I don't like this at all. Oh, poor little Louise. Oh, yes, a drop of medicine. That's what something for my heart, to stop it beating. That's what I want. I mustn't let myself lose control. A strain. That's all this is. This is a nervous strain. Good health. A nervous strain. So perhaps something for my nerves might be better. After all, this is enough to upset anybody. I have to keep calm. I must not let my nerves get out of control. So, which one? I think the nerves. Oh my, here she comes. Oh, come in. Oh, come in. What are you doing there? I said come in. Here. That's right. Now keep your head up. That's right. Yes. What have you got to tell me?
To tell you, Father?
Yes.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing to tell me? No. Think again, or it'll be the worst for you. You've got something to tell me. I want to know what it is.
Well, if you like, I can tell you the story of the raven and the fox or the ass's skin. I know that one by heart.
Oh, I'll give you the ass's skin and a sore one. Now listen, didn't I tell you to watch Angelica?
Yes.
And have you?
Have I what?
Have you watched her?
Oh, yes, I have.
And you promised to tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual.
Yes.
And have you?
Have I what?
Have you seen or heard anything unusual?
Oh, no.
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 Or today?
No.
In the last few hours?
No.
In these last few minutes? No?
No.
Are you quite sure?
White.
Louise, this is monstrous. Only a moment ago, your stepmother came down and told me that she'd been in your sister's room, and you were there too.
Yes.
And there was a man there kissing Angelica.
Yes.
Well, isn't that unusual?
No.
Oh.
Besides, I didn't see anything.
You didn't see anything?
No, I shut my eyes.
What were they saying?
Couldn't hear them.
Why not?
They were whispering.
What?
They were whispering!
This is enough. No, this is more than enough. Louise, this is too much. There's something you haven't told me, and so you must be punished.
Oh, dear Father.
Don't you dear father me.
It was my sister. She made me promise not to tell you, but I will. I'll tell you everything.
Oh, yes. Indeed you will, but only after you've been punished.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, you're my daughter. And to lie is a very wicked thing. So if I don't punish you, then heaven will. This is something you should be grateful for. Turn around. Bend over. Don't make such a row. I hardly touched you.
Hardly touched me, you have killed me! Oh, I think the room's going round and round. Everything's going dark. I think I'm going to faint.
Faint?
Yes, and I think I'm dying.
Dying?
Yes, and I hope I do.
Oh, Louise! Oh, I didn't know my own strength. That's what it was. Oh, no. Oh, heaven forgive me. I'll never forgive myself.
You didn't need to cry quite so much, Father. I'm not quite dead yet.
Oh, heaven be praised. What a fright you gave me. You're not being artful. You're not pretending.
I'm going back off again.
Oh, Louise!
Oh, dear Father.
Oh, my sweet, loving daughter. Oh, you're gonna tell me everything you know.
Oh, yes.
That's good. Go ahead.
Well, I was in my sister's room, and then a man came in.
What sort of a man?
Oh, he was young and very handsome.
Well, what did you do?
Well, I asked him who he was.
And what did he say?
He said he was her music master.
Oh, that fellow again! And then what?
Then Angelica walked in.
And what did she say?
Well, she said, "Oh, dear goodness, you! For heaven's sake, get out!"
She said that?
Yes, but then she added, if you're found here, then everything is over." But he would not go.
He wouldn't? Well, what did he say?
Oh, all sorts of things.
Well, what sorts of things?
He said that he loved her.
Well, what more?
That's it.
You just said he said all sorts of things.
He said he loved her in all sorts of ways. Then he got down on his knees and took her hands into his and kissed them. And then stepmother came in and she jumped up and ran away.
And then?
That's it.
Well, that's it, but I already know all that.
Then why did you ask?
Because I want to know the rest.
There isn't any more.
Louise, if you've been watching your sister as I told you to, as you say you have been, then you know more than what you've told me.
I have told you all that I know.
Louise, this little finger of mine knows everything.
Then why don't you ask it?
So I will. It's telling me that you know a lot more than what you've told me. Ow! Why did you do that?
Your finger's wicked. It's telling lies, so I punished it. Your brother to see you, monsieur.
my dear fellow. Mwah. Now let's have a look at you. Oh, you look splendid. Great heavens, man. What are you doing with that thing? And why was little Louise running out of the room as if the devil himself were after her?
Oh, brother, I'm very ill.
Ill?
I'm weak. Far too weak to speak. Much too exhausted to talk.
But that's what I came to do.
That's impossible.
Nonsense. I don't believe it.
I'm very hard of hearing, and I've lost my voice.
That's a pity. I came to propose a husband for Angelica.
Oh, the music master?
Music master? He's certainly not that. The young man I have in mind has many accomplishments. He's handsome, well connected, rich, and he loves Angelica. And what's even more important, she loves him.
Oh, those daughters of mine, they'll drive me out of my mind.
I think they have.
What do you mean by that?
Just what I said. However, I'm glad my visit has done you a bit of good. Well, you seem to be able to hear, and you've recovered your voice, and at least a little strength. So we'll discuss it further.
I'm sorry, brother. I have to leave you.
Monsieur Archon!
Yes?
You've forgotten.
Forgotten what?
You can't walk without your stick.
Oh, yes. How very forgetful of me.
Thank God you've come. You'll save my mistress, won't you?
Save her?
This marriage is tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
And she's being kept prisoner upstairs.
Prisoner?
If there were only some way of putting it off.
Well, isn't there?
The only thing that would distract your brother long enough is a new medicine, a new treatment, something urgent and very drastic.
He shall have it.
Well, that's easy enough to say. All the doctors are on his side. They wouldn't help.
Then get a new one.
That's the only way.
Can you get a hold of one?
I have a thought.
What is it?
It's quite mad, but so am I. Oh, I think he's coming back. Here, hurry, stay here, and above all, keep him in good company. Leave the rest to me.
Can I give you a hand?
No, 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 thank you. I can help myself.
Yes, I can see now. You're not looking so well as I first thought you were. I'm very sorry. I should have been more sympathetic. Oh, but you're a dear fellow, and I'm very fond of you. And surely two brothers can discuss family affairs quietly and reasonably without getting excited.
Oh, I shan't get excited.
And most certainly, nor shall I.
This conversation seems bound to be an unexciting one.
But if I ask you a few questions, perhaps you'd answer them.
Why shouldn't I?
That's very good of you.
Don't mention it.
Ah, bless you. You've a heart of gold.
Gold? There's certainly something the matter with it, but I'm not sure that it's that.
Oh, and such a wit! Now let me ask you, why, with all your money, are you marrying your daughter to a man she doesn't want?
To get myself a son-in-law who's useful to me.
Surely a strange reason.
What's strange about it? I should have called it eminently sensible.
Sensible.
That's what I said.
Forgive me, brother dear, if I seem slow-witted, but explain yourself.
Well, he's a doctor, and his father's a doctor, and his uncle's a doctor. And in a case like mine, three doctors are much better than one.
Ah, I see.
I thought you might.
And so I suppose when little Louise comes of age, you'll marry her to an apothecary.
By God, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought of it. Thank you for mentioning it. Quill?
Really, you're impossible. Sacrificing your daughter to ridiculous illnesses. You, the healthiest man I've ever known.
Me healthy?
Robust. I wish to God I had your constitution. Any other man with all your bleedings and purgings and heaven knows what else. Emptying these poisons into yourself, corroding your wretched stomach. Any other man would have been dead years ago.
So you'd set yourself up against the accumulated wisdom of the ages?
Bosh.
Bosh?
Bosh.
You're an arrogant idiot. You always were.
And you're... No. Heaven help myself. I'll not lose my temper. I'll not quarrel with you. Brother, each one of us, waking or sleeping, walking or sitting, is a living miracle. But like all miracles, beyond our knowledge. And of how the miracle works, we know nothing. Take this new theory that the blood circulates. Does it? Or doesn't it? Who knows? And who will ever know?
You exaggerate. You always did.
Maybe, in years to come, hundreds of years, we may have more knowledge. And then perhaps doctors may be of use. Although I doubt it. But now it's guesswork. And their guesses alter every month. They do more harm than good.
And yet, when men are ill, they call a doctor.
That is a proof of man's gullibility, not of the doctor's skill.
But doctors trust each other, and they trust themselves.
My dear fellow, the great deceivers of the world begin by deceiving themselves. They have to, or else they wouldn't be so good at it. In fact, I'm not alone in thinking as I do. You should come with me into the theater to see one of Moliere's plays on this same subject.
Moliere? Don't talk to me of Moliere. That rogue, that scribbling ass, that fool. He's writing against the very art of medicine, and he deserves to be punished. I know if I were a doctor and if he were ill, I'd refuse to treat him.
I don't think that would worry Moliere. Only the other day when I was at his house, he said to me, I wish I hadn't got to act tonight. I don't feel well. Then why don't you see a doctor? Said his wife. A doctor, he replied. I should never survive a doctor. I'm a sick man. I want all my strength just to keep alive. Heavens alive! Who's this?
This is my apothecary.
Now, monsieur, if you please.
Yes, give me one moment. Now, my brother, I'm afraid I must ask you to retire.
To retire?
That's what I said, to leave us alone.
But I haven't said half what I came to say.
That's most unfortunate. Perhaps another time.
Some other time will be too late.
What do you mean too late?
I came to talk to you about my niece's marriage, which now I gather is to take place tomorrow.
That's quite right. It's tomorrow, and it's all settled, so there's nothing to be said.
I see how it is. You're behaving so disgracefully.
Can I believe my ears?
I doubt it. You're hard of hearing. So let me repeat. You're behaving so disgracefully, with such utter selfishness, with such wanton, unnatural, unfatherly cruelty, that you dare not even talk about it.
Dare not?
That's what I said. It's not your hearing that you've lost, dear brother, but your conscience.
Insufferable. You don't know what you're talking about.
How can you even say that when you won't even listen to me?
In front of the apothecary?
Ask
Have
him,
you no family feeling?
ask him to leave.
Sir,
Send him away.
I beg your pardon?
Brent, put off this absurd treatment. Have it this evening or tomorrow morning.
I take that very much amiss.
You may take it how you will.
I don't know who this gentleman is.
My brother.
Sorry to hear it. Sir, I'm a very busy man and I cannot afford to waste my time like this.
Surely you're paid for it.
That's not the point.
I should have thought that it was. Well, brother, am I right? Or are you too utterly ashamed of what you're doing to hear me out?
Of course I'm not.
Then prove it, or show yourself a coward, as well as a heartless parent.
Good master apothecary, you heard. Perhaps another time, at your own convenience, in an hour or half an hour, when you will, even in a few minutes, I shall be here.
I dare not think what Dr. Perjean will have to say to this.
Dr. Perjean, but how should he know?
He's at your front door,
At my front door?
sitting in his carriage. He drove me here. He said he'd wait for me. If I know Dr. Perjean, and I do, you will surely hear more of this. Good day.
What have I done? What have you made me do?
Postpone what I should imagine a most unsavory experience.
But you heard the apothecary. What shall Dr. Perjean think?
Why should he think anything of it? Indeed, what if he does? You've only put off one of his incessant treatments for an hour. He'll add something to his bill and drive away, apothecary, syringe and all, to play some other credulous idiot. Now about Angela.
Dr. Perjean wishes a word with you.
Well, this is a nice state of affairs.
My good Dr. Perjean.
Don't good Dr. Perjean me. Never in all of my professional life have I been so insulted.
Oh, no.
To have one of my remedies reviewed.
Refused? No. Only postponed.
If anything, that's worse. With my medicines, when they are taken, is even more important than what they are.
It's not my fault. My brother, he persuaded me.
Your brother is not my patient. He is no concern to me.
Fortunately for me.
I wouldn't be too sure. You're sickening for something. No, Monsieur Argon, it is you who is to blame.
Quite right. I'm very much to blame. And I'm so sorry.
As you well may be, it was a special and most extraordinary mixture, never before administered to another living thing.
Oh.
It was one of my inspirations. It came to me in one of the long watches of the night, and I arose and prepared it for you with my own two hands. You may well groan that each individual ingredient must have treated your every ailment. It would have cleansed your whole system with one squirt.
One squirt?
One squirt. I sent to my apothecary at the appointed moment, and she returned to me. Syringe unemptied by miracle of healing, unperformed, balked at his errand of mercy. And that constitutes not only as a moral insult to me personally, but to the whole medical faculty. You have with one stroke destroyed a sacred obligation, the unquestioning obedience of a patient to his physician. That is rebellion. That is the revolt of ignorance against authority, and in medicine, such as in society, such actions must bring chaos and disaster. I've done with you. It cannot be tolerated, and it's been nipped at the bud here and now. And believe me, when all of my fellows have heard of this, they will follow suit.
Oh, no.
Oh, and one more thing. Here,
You're already about to kill me. Isn't that enough?
here's the deed of gift in favor of my nephew's upcoming marriage with your daughter. I've done with you, and I leave you with nothing more than pity. Oh. Slow down, fool.
That's it, I'm done for. This is the end. All of my illnesses, I can feel them coming on already.
Don't be a fool.
I can feel myself dying. This is terrible.
Ridiculous. Now listen. Old Perjean's threats have as much chance of killing as his medicines have of curing you. Now's your chance to rid yourself of doctors once and for all.
No, I must have a doctor to look after me.
Don't be ridiculous. No. What am I saying? I was forgetting. Of course you must have a doctor.
Why? Am I looking ill?
Terrible. You must have a new one. One who must find some new and drastic remedies for you and not waste a moment of our time.
But where should we find one? All of those doctors stick together like the leeches that they are. There's not another doctor that would ever dare to offend old Perjean. No, I'm finished.
There's a doctor to see you, monsieur.
What was that?
A doctor come to see you?
What's his name?
I don't know. He didn't tell me.
What's he want?
He didn't say that either, but he was very urgent.
Urgent?
That he must see you. He's come to Paris from abroad, especially to visit you.
How did you know he was a doctor?
He told me so.
Well, perhaps of philosophy. Or of music. Oh, I've had enough of them.
Oh, no, monsieur. Of medicine. He wore his hat, had a cloak, and even a little beard. And it's stranger than this.
Stranger than what?
Well, you won't believe it, Monsieur Argon, nor you, Monsieur Barol.
I'm sure I shan't.
Well, I opened the door and there he stood. And if I didn't swear my mother didn't have two of us at once, I could have sworn he was my twin.
Your twin?
About my age, the same height, and as I stand here, the spitting image of me.
Well, that's very strange. Go and bring him in.
Yes, because as he's a doctor, he seems an answer to your prayer. You
Yeah.
better see him.
Well, yes. What do you make of it?
Very mysterious.
We shall see.
We shall. But what?
Well, that's me, but I'm not famous.
You belittle yourself, sir. Whenever and wherever doctors are gathered together to discuss their art, your case is spoken of.
Is that so?
Why, not last week, while teaching my students in Milan, I spent 3 hours on you.
Good gracious me. May I ask your name?
No. That, I am afraid, I cannot tell you. My fame, like yours, is international. I have in fact cured every known disease, as well as several others. If it were known that I were here in Paris, why, I should be besieged by every doctor wanting my advice. And I'm only here for a few hours, quite incognito, especially to visit you.
Well, I'm sure that I am very, very honored. Extraordinary. Well, that's most extraordinary.
May I ask what is extraordinary?
Your likeness to my maid.
Why, you don't say so! She herself said something about it when she let me in.
This is no likeness. It's the same face. Brother, what do you make of it?
Yes, I can see what you mean. There is some slight resemblance.
Slight? It's unbelievable.
Brother, you're making yourself a fool. We all have 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth. And if the eyes are something of the same color, the nose something of the same shape, the mouth something of the same size, and of the same face, all of these features have something of similarity. Why then the likeness can be, to say the least, at first sight, surprising.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is extraordinary. Move out of the way. Now, my young doctor, may I ask you a favor?
I'm at your service, monsieur.
Move closer.
I can see you quite well from here.
Yes, but I can't see you, and I would like a closer look. Much, much closer.
As it may seem, I may be here for some time. I must speak to my coachman. He can feed the horses. What? Did you call?
Not me.
Nor you, Monsieur Brault.
Oh no, I didn't.
Funny thing, I could have sworn I heard you. Where's that doctor?
He's gone to see his coachman.
Is he coming back?
Of course. Why shouldn't he?
Well then, as you don't want me.
No, hey, wait. Come back. You stay here.
What for?
I'm gonna get to the bottom of all this.
Of all of what?
Of this incredible likeness.
Well, monsieur, I told you myself. I couldn't believe my eyes.
And nor can I. So till he gets back, you'll stay as you are.
But I've got my work to do.
Never mind your work.
Well, I'm cooking your supper.
Well, that can wait.
Can it? You won't have any supper. It'll burn.
Let it burn.
You know, I have an idea that while Toinette is here, he won't come back at all.
Oh, really, Monsieur Gerald? What makes you say that?
Fetch me a glass of water.
Oh, yes, I'll get you one.
Hey, where are you going? I said water from my table. Where are my drops?
I got them in the kitchen!
No. They're right here.
He's taking his time.
I know what's happened.
What?
He's lost!
He's lost?
In this great rambling house? Why, anyone should be lost. So many passages and doors. I'll go and find him.
Hey, no, wait!
No, really, brother, I think she may be right. And if you lose this doctor, your last chance is gone.
Well, all right. I'll only let you go if you promise when you find him, you will come back with him.
Oh, yes, I swear to that. Oh, there you are! Thank you very much. I'm relieved to see you.
I came to find you, sir. I thought you might be lost.
Indeed I was. That's very kind of you. So many passage. I thought I should never be seen again. And so many mysterious doors. This is Monsieur Argon's door. Oh, I thought it must be, but I wasn't certain. And you'll find him inside waiting for you. I'm just going back to the kitchen to take his dinner out of the oven. But I'll be back in a moment. Ah! What a charming maid you've got! So pretty too. You're very lucky. Now, you alluded to me a few moments ago as a young doctor. How old do you think I am?
How old? I should say you're about the same age as that charming and very cunning maid of mine.
But you're very wrong. I'm nearing 80.
80?
You see, I treat myself. I make my own medicines. And as among other things, I have discovered the secret of eternal youth.
Well, I must say, for 80, you're a very fine old fellow. And now, my venerable young doctor, I have a question to put to you.
Yes.
Where is Toinette? And why hasn't she come back?
Open your mouth.
Huh?
I said, open your mouth. Put out your tongue. Shut your mouth. Now, do you ever have headaches?
Very often.
Palpitations?
Frequently.
Occasional stomach pain?
Oh, nearly all the time.
Exactly as I foresaw.
It's no good.
Brother, what's no good?
I don't believe it.
Don't believe what?
I'm being made a fool of.
Monsieur Argon, enough of this ridiculous obsession. I shall begin to think your mind is going, and there's no help for you. Yeah, I'm mixing a medicine, one that I take myself. Now, one dose every day
Yes, well, that may be. But I want to see Toinette.
Here I am, Monsieur. Don't worry, I was just taking your dinner out of the oven. It wasn't burnt. Now, if you'll excuse me. Hey, Marv, come here! Now, I want you to help me mix this. Now, I'm leaving the first dose with you, and I'll leave the other 6 doses as well. There we go. Now hold this steady. Quite steady. There we go. Easy does it. Easy does it. Now, remember, a drop too little and a drop too much. A matter of life and certain death.
Well, that's extraordinary. And I never would have believed it if I hadn't seen them together in the same room. Huh.
Now, I want you to drink this, and I make only one stipulation. Say, during this next week, you must relax and completely no outside activities, social or family reasons, none whatsoever. Not too hard and all important. Will you see that, Mr. Burrell?
Indeed I will.
Good. Now,
Well, yes, but there's a...
drink! Now! Here! Take this, wash it out, and then you can go. Now, I can't promise to fully restore your youth, but follow my instructions, and I can promise you a vigorous middle age. Good day.
Oh, wow!
Did that hurt?
Well, yes, it did a bit.
That arm's no use. I'll have it off.
Off?
Why, it's taking that strength from all that side of your body. Do your eyes ever water?
Considerably.
Why, then I'll have one of them out too.
My eye.
I'll send a surgeon over to you. He can do both operations at once. Now, one more question. Who's your doctor?
Dr. Perjean.
Perjean? What a disaster! The worst doctor in all of Paris. With 2 exceptions.
And who are they?
Why? Dr. Diaphoros and his half-wit son. Now, I give you a solemn warning, Monsieur Orgon. Dr. Diaphoros is not a doctor. He's a murderer. Have nothing to do with them, either as doctors or people. Good. Now, good day.
Well, brother, there's a doctor for you.
Well, yes, but you disapprove of doctors.
That one was different.
That doctor. How old did he say he was?
80.
He was trying to feel my pulse.
Well, what's the matter with that? That's what doctors do.
He has very different ideas as to where pulses are.
80? Brother, you should take part. You remember what he promised you? A vigorous middle age. There will be no holding you.
A fat chance I should stand with one arm and one eye.
Oh, don't worry about that. That's unimportant.
Unimportant?
When the surgeon comes, ask him to leave.
Can I?
Sure you can. As long as you take all of his medicine and stop here in your room, absolutely quiet for at least a week.
But-
I will see to that.
But what about this marriage?
After what you heard about old Diaphorus and his half-wit son, I presume that's odd.
Well, possibly. Dr. Perjean withdrawing his money does make a bit of a difference. She'll have to be a nun.
Oh, what?
A nun.
A nun?
Her stepmother has wished it, and she shall have her way. My
Her
wife.
stepmother has wished it. For God's sake, why?
Well, that's of no concern to you. My wife has expressed a wish, and because my own has failed, her plan is good enough for me.
Really? This is too much. I must speak my mind. If there's one thing that enrages me more than your infatuation for your doctors, it's your utter blindness about your what?
What's that now?
I've always meant to say it. Now it's been said. The way you fall headlong into any trap that woman sets for you.
Monsieur Barrault. No, Madame would never set a trap for him. She loves him. She adores him. You should just see them together, the two sweethearts.
That's well said, Antoinette. I didn't expect that of you. You're a good girl. Brother, perhaps if you don't believe it from me, you'll believe it from her.
Indeed, I'll not. Neither from her nor anyone.
But, Monsieur, I can prove it.
Prove it? How?
Well, Madame came home just a few minutes ago, and she's heading up here now. Monsieur Argonne, lay right down and pretend you're dead a minute. Then we can all see how she would react.
Pretend that I'm dead? I don't like the idea at all.
Ah, but when it comes to the point of proof, you're afraid to face it.
No, I'm not.
Then do as Toinette suggests.
Oh, I hear her coming. Her, lie down.
Only for a moment. We mustn't keep her in suspense. The shock might kill her.
Yes, 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 lie down.
There's no danger in pretending to be dead?
No, no, no. Lie down. Down.
Something dreadful has happened.
Dreadful. What?
The master. The poor, dear master.
What about him?
I can't bear to tell you.
Tell me.
He's dead.
Dead. My husband dead.
Dead as doornail. I came in here just moments ago, and there he lay, cold, stark, lifeless. His poor heart stopped.
Honestly, Toinette, I don't know what you've got to make such a fuss about.
Madame, I can't help but cry.
Don't be ridiculous. Now that he can't hear us, at least you can buy honest. It's good riddance. What earthly use was he to anyone? His endless illnesses, ceaseless treatments. There were times I couldn't even bear it. Now it's over. Thank heavens for that.
Madame, could you believe it? The deceased not dead?
Brother! Now I really do wish that I were dead. That was the one person in the world child, I was quite sure you loved me. Did you hear?
Indeed I did.
And now I've got no one.
That's absurd. You have a brother.
And you hate me.
Indeed I don't.
You think me an old fool.
That's a very different thing.
But I don't want to be thought a fool.
Then you shouldn't behave like one. And you've got your daughters.
And they both hate me.
Oh, no, Monsieur Argon. Little Louise is too young to know whether she loves or hates. And Miss Angelica, she loves you with all her heart.
Saying that to make me feel better.
I hear her coming down. Now, lay back down again and pretend you're dead. Then we shall see. You might hear something that surprises you.
Monsieur Argon, I ask your daughter's hand.
Monsieur, you can't say no.
Can't I? You don't know what I can say. Damn it, I've been dead twice in the last few minutes. And I've had the two biggest shocks of my entire life. I hardly know what I'm saying myself. You want to marry my daughter?
Yes, I do.
Marry a music master.
Oh, I'm not the music master.
But you said you were.
Oh, so I did.
Why?
It was a trick.
That's outrageous! If there's anything I disapprove of, it's tricks.
Really,
monsieur.
brother.
All right. Enough of that. You're not a doctor, are you?
No.
That's a pity. If you'd have been a doctor, you could have had it.
Then I'll become one. I've got a better idea.
Oh, you and your ideas.
Become a doctor yourself.
Me?
Why not?
But what do I know of illnesses and disease?
What do you know except about your own? And about them, you know more than any man in Paris, a doctor or a layman.
Well, that's true enough.
And only this afternoon, you had an example. That vigorous young doctor of 80 who treated himself.
But I know no Latin.
You'll pick it up in no time. And with a smattering of it, everything you say will sound like a pearl of wisdom.
How do I become a doctor?
Easily. A simple ceremony that can be performed here and now.
Here and now?
I happen to know that in the house next door, there's a meeting of the faculty. Toinette, away with you, and send them here at once. And you, Angelica, you too, Cleon, both of you, go with her. I'll follow along in a moment to explain. Now, brother, this is to be the greatest day of your life. In just a few minutes, you will be known as Dr. Argon. I must go and assemble the faculty, and you must be left alone for a few moments to prepare yourself for the ordeal.
Ordeal?
My dear fellow, there can be no sort of achievement without some kind of ordeal. The ceremony, of course, will be in Latin. What? You must do your best.
No. Not until I'm a doctor. Or I won't know which one to take.
Invalid Imaginarius, you must answer questions various.
Omnis learned doctori, eminent professioris, venerable physicianis, every kind of Medici. Answer why the drug called opium, doctors all prescribe as dopium.
Why? Because non-disputanda. Et quod erat demonstrandum. Opium is well known to omnibus as the remedy for insomnia. What?
Excellente, excellente, Argon is intelligente. Viva, viva, viva Argon, he knows all the doctor's jargon.
Answer why for gripes and fever, doctor's orders laxativa.
What, because non-disputandum. Et quod erat demonstrandum. Anima administrare, et emitica donare. Purgativa praescribere, ergo.
Jubilate, jubilate, viva, viva, viva Argon.
What and bad odorum, boils of every category.
Ergo Virgo.
Jubilate! Jubilate! Viva, 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 Argon!
Answer now without erratum, what the learned facultatum recommends for diabolicus, collywobbles, and the colicus.
Ergo Purgo.
Jubilate! Jubilate! Viva, 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 Argon!
What's for bunions, corns, and calluses, dander, doldrums, and paralysis?
Measles, mumps, and laryngitis, rigor mortis, and St. Vitus.
Ergo Purgo.
Jubilate! Jubilate! Viva, 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 Argon!
Non silentium! You have made correct responses. Honi soy qui mal e ponsis. Now in front of this high assembly list, what have you and all of us to uphold our facultate, steadfastly with dignitate? Swear!
Swear! Swear!
I swear.
Down in the sink with all the media, not in our encyclopedia.
You may cure or you may bury him. Either way, you get your honorarium.
Be known as general practitionarius on the medical registrarius.
Give him his hat of learning.
Mumbo!
Jumbo! Hit!
Hack!
Honka!
Purgum!
Bleedum!
Choco!
Soka!
Novus Doctor!
Quack! 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 Quack!
The ceremony is over, and your state is changed. No longer an imaginary invalid, but in your own right, Dr. Imaginaire!
Brother? Toinette? What is this? What's going on?
A great scholar, I congratulate you.
A